Hey everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Cooking with the Frisbys. So today, what are we doing? We're doing something that we have never done before, and I'm excited because I got a new toy. So for my Masterbuilt 560 gravity feed charcoal grill, I finally got my rotisserie attachment. So we are going to do a rotisserie duck. How about that? Now you can see the way that we prepped this was a, what kind of duck was this, honey? What was the brand?
This is Maple Leaf Farms.
Okay, so it's a Maple Leaf Farm. We bought it at our local grocery store. It had already been brined, so we took it out of the package yesterday. Well, we got it thawed, we took it out of the package, we made some cuts in the fat here, we dried it out, we put it in the refrigerator overnight just so that it would dry out. And then today we took it out and Beth put another dry brine on top of it, and that was almost 2 hours ago. They say you can go 2 to 3 hours before you do that. I've gone out, I've got the grill going, the temperature is set at 250, so I've got it at 250, it says it's at 250, I put applewood chips in there to try and get some applewood flavor. Again, a lot of fat on the duck. I went a little too deep with my knife. I think we're gonna have to get some better equipment, but we're not gonna worry about it. And the reason we made these little honeycomb cuts is because there's a lot of fat there. We want the fat to render and come off of there. And then we're gonna do something really special with that, which we looked at some things online, and you take the duck fat and you put potatoes. Also, Beth has prepared this orange glaze. And this is some of the rosemary sprigs that are, yes, from the Frisby garden. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna glaze this as we begin to cook it. So we looked up online. If you guys don't know how to truss stuff, look it up on YouTube. And we got a quick lesson on trussing a duck, and you can see, you can't even see it, but it goes around here, it pulled in really tight to plump up the breast. Beth has stuffed it with some oranges to get that orange flavor. Comes around the legs, cinches down real tight, and it just makes a real tight ball so that when you put it on that spigot, or I guess you'd call it a spigot, the rotisserie, that it stays tight. So now that's what I'm gonna do. So I've got my new Masterbuilt spigot. Ta-da! I really tighten these down. These things hurt, so I find that I have to use a pair of pliers. So I'm just gonna go ahead, take this and put it through the center of the duck, if I can find it. You know, it always means that you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. It just does. And so I should just get used to that. Oops, that's not where I want it. I'm gonna go in, maybe I should go in this way.
Yeah, so you're also going through the orange.
Oh, that's right. So I'm gonna reverse that. I'm gonna go back the way I was. But what it started to do, it started to come out the top, and I don't want that. So let me pay closer attention, go through the bottom of the orange, see if I can feel this. Got it. So now here we go, here it is. And make sure that these tines line up, stick these in. I like to tip it up like this on its end, because it really makes sure that I can force it down. Now I take the opposite side. Now it's in the center, and I've already gone out on the grill to make sure that it was actually in the center. And we'll lower this down on here. Oh, I don't really like the way that is. I'm gonna make an adjustment. Do this for the camera. It wants to slide. I'm really gonna push down. I love just working with equipment like this because it's so easy. It's really not. There we go. Now it went down, but I'm gonna make sure that it goes down in there because I don't want this bad boy coming apart. And honey, can you give me my little pliers over there, because I'm not gonna look at it. I've had mistakes happen when I look in the grill and things are all loose. So I'm taking my little pliers, trying to tighten it at hand, and maybe it's because I'm just a person that works on a computer most of the time. I can't take my little delicate hands and tighten that up. But now you see, it is on the spigot. We're gonna go to the grill. I'll see you. Hey everybody, so here we are. Now we're at the grill. As you can see, I got good smoke going. Temperature of the grill's at 250 degrees. Go in here, I've got this the opposite direction. Of course I do. Go in here, we're gonna set this in here. Try not to touch the sides because that'd be hot. So Set it in here. You see it sits right down on there. Now we're gonna go ahead, like we talked about, put this pan under here so we can catch some of those juices. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna turn our rotisserie on. And we'll let it spin a couple of times just to make sure everything's solid. Nothing's gonna fly off. There she goes, she's spinning. It looks good. No hesitation. Everything seems to be good. So we are gonna go ahead, we're gonna shut this, and we're gonna come back, and we'll probably do it in about 40 minutes. We'll come back and we'll begin to glaze. Hey everybody, we're back. And it is roast duck on the Masterbuilt 560 charcoal gravity feed grill. So this has been on for about 40 minutes now on the rotisserie, and I'm gonna open it. You're gonna see it as we see it, and then we are also ready to put on the orange glaze with the rosemary brush, which is kind of cute. I think, does it do something? Does it add flavor? Beth is nodding her head. It adds flavor, so it's not just cute. So here we go. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so we see a little bit of rendering going on. Not a ton of rendering going on. She's starting to turn a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. Again, it's only been 40 minutes. The temperature that we're looking to get on this thing is 165 degrees is the internal temperature. So we've looked at a couple of things, and you can go, gosh, people are doing these things between 4 and 5 hours. They're doing them for an hour. I think it all depends on the grill that you have. And you have to understand, when you're doing this Masterbuilt gravity feed, it is indirect. So the charcoal is over in the chute over here. The fan blows and brings the heat up through this chute here, and then heats up inside here. So that's what we're working with. I've got the heat set on 255. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, I'll have to consult with Beth. I'm thinking that we probably need to go up to what some of these other guys recommend at, like maybe a 270, 275. It's a very windy day. I don't see a lot of this fat rendering down here. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's good for now, because we want to make sure that we have some of this last. I don't know. It looks good. I think I'm gonna try and take this up to 275. I'm not trying to rush it, but I just want to see what it's going to do. But everything that we looked at online, you could see a lot more fat rendering. As I was brushing this, it still felt very, very loose. So I don't think that fat is coming off of here. So again, you see it as we see it. We're going to continue on. I'll set a timer for another 40 minutes. I'm going to take this up to 275. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll be back.
Two.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with the Frisbees. Once again, doing the roasted duck on the rotisserie on the Masterbuilt 560 gravity feed charcoal grill. Now, like I said, you see things as we see them. We had to call an audible on this. We had this set at 250. You saw when I first opened it, it wasn't really cooking down. We took it up to 275, still wasn't doing it. So we're not trying to smoke, we're trying to cook. So I've taken it up to 325. So now we've got the potatoes out here. We're ready to do another basting of the orange and rosemary. So now let's see what's happened. This has been at 325 now, I would say, for about 20 minutes. So here we go. Let's see what's going on. Oh, see, now it's starting to look good. There's some drippings down there in the pan. I think that's looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a baste on this. Let's get our little rosemary brush. Let's brush some more of this absolute goodness on here. That's looking good. I'm getting excited now, because I think that was the right thing for us to do. And like I always say, guys, when we're doing this, this is a first for us. And we know you guys are sick of being at home eating the same things. But what we don't want you to do is do this alternative of going out to a fast food restaurant. Like, we're going to try and take the guesswork out of this for you, but it's guesswork for us. So now I've got this glazed on here. Beth, do you want to go ahead and add these potatoes, you believe?
Yeah, I think it's time.
So let me grab my glove, because I'm no fool, and I know this is hot. So I'm gonna pull this away for a second. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna capture some of the goodness of this duck fat that's starting to go on in there.
And they are par cooked. So I threw them in the microwave for 5 minutes with some water.
We're gonna set them in here. We're gonna let these go as that duck fat starts to render. I think 325 is probably the right temperature. It's gonna shorten our time period. If we were still staying at 250, this would have been a 4 or 5 hour experience. That's not what we're looking for. We gotta eat tonight. So anyway, here we are. We are now, an hour and a half into this. And we'll be back, but I think we made the right audible call. See you in a minute. Hey everybody, so we're back. We are, let's see, first timer was 40 minutes, then 30 minutes, and another 30 minutes. So we're about just over 2 hours in, I guess. We've turned it up to 325. We're going in to check the temperature. Again, do basting every 30 minutes, but let's see where we are since we made that decision at 325. Oh, now we're talking about something. Can you see?
Oh, you can even see it dripping.
The fat rendering off of this thing. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I don't think the duck is in danger, we'll do a little, we got to pull this forward and I got to do a little zhuzh. So we're here to do a couple of things. Let's get in here. Hold on. Got to put my mitt on. Sorry about that. I had one on. Safety is always first. So we got to do a little zhuzhing because, like what everybody says, this duck fat is liquid gold, man. And you don't want that to let that get away from you. So, a little zhuzhing. We're going to put her back under there. You go ahead and take off one of these gloves. That has the thermometer set up. Come back here. Go ahead. Let's stop the rotisserie. We're going to check the breast first. Don't want to hit any bone. It still seems a little tough. So we're at 102. 102. 122. All right, 122. That is the breast.
And we're going to 165.
We're going to 165. Let's check the breast. Or I'm sorry, let's check the thigh. Always a good indication of what's going on. On up. $136. So we got, as you can see, we've got a little ways to go. I'm even inclined now that we're rendering, we see that things are golden brown. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn this rotisserie back on again. Now that I'm seeing this happen, I might even go to 350 to be honest with you, because we're not, what we have found when we're smoking stuff, the skin gets a little bit tough and a little bit leathery. We want it crunchy, we want to be able to bite through it. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll tell you, I need to move this. I know you see this. Before Beth corrects me and tells me that I need to adjust my pan, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it because happy wife, happy life. And we're going to turn this up to 350, but I think we're doing good. I mean, we're 2 hours in, and I think we're looking good. Masterbuilt 560, gravity feed, doing a duck, first time. You know what? Welcome back, but daylight savings time throws a little kink in our plan sometimes, and I think maybe we should go earlier, but we don't eat like that. So here we are. We are 2.5 hours in. Are you guys ready to see this? Here we go. Look at this.
Oh my God.
How good looking is this? So there's several things we got to do here. We've got to baste. We've got to zhuzh the potatoes because zhuzh is a word of cooking with the Frisbees. We invented that. And then we have a temperature check that we have to do too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop this. We're going to do the temperature check first. Where my temperature gauge is over here. Sorry for getting in the camera's way. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to check the thigh. Is that on? Beth is working that behind the scenes. We're going to stick this into the thigh without hitting that spigot, because that spigot you know is hot. So here we go. 130. Well, 144. Okay, we got a ways to go.
Just getting there.
Got a ways to go. Let's go into the breast meat. One here. I can tell because it still has a little bit of tackiness to it that there's a little bit of ways to go.
Can't see it.
So that's 136.
Sweet.
It's 136. So we're trying to go to 165. We're getting there. This to me is going to end up being a 3.5 hour process. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the rotisserie back on. I'm going to get a little rosemary. Get our little glaze out there. Which I think that is really adding to this. It's really making the skin just brown up nicely. I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. The one thing that we have learned with the Masterbuilt 560 is that, you know, patience is what it's all about. Like, we keep upping the times that we start cooking our meals because we think we can wait until 5 or 6 o'clock, and you really can't wait until that time in order to do that. I think I gotta zhuzh the potatoes a little bit, right?
Can I get a zhuzh?
Beth wants a zhuzh. So look at all that duck fat that's rendering down there on the potatoes. Oh, look at that. Man, that is good stuff. That is good stuff right there. Just loosen them all up. Zhuzh them around a little bit in that duck fat. Keep letting this thing go. Well, it is 6:22. we got to stop eating at this. Like, usually we stop at like 7:30 is our cutoff time, but you know what? For you guys and learning how to do this, doing it well, that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back. We'll keep going. We are back, and we're here to do 3 different things. One, we're here to check on the duck and see how she's doing and checking the temperature. See if we can get to 165. That's where we need to get to make sure that she is done. We're also here to check on the potatoes, make sure that the potatoes are doing good as well. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put on both my gloves. And I failed to mention the last thing we're here to do is actually glaze it as well, because we have to keep glazing it every 30 minutes. So let's get in here and let's take a look at this. You know what? I don't think I'm doing this any justice unless I bring this camera in here. Hang on. I'm going to show you what's going on here. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, I think we were premature in putting the potatoes on, but the potatoes are not the star of the show on this thing. So I think that is doing okay. She's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of fat that's rendering down there. I think we're doing okay. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to try and set this so that you can see what I'm doing. Hang on just a second. There we go. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to continue to put a glaze on this. We're down to the last of the glaze on this. We really are. It's okay. We made enough of it to continue to keep her nice and glazed. I'll be honest with you, we took the temperature up to about 375 because what we start to realize, you know, you buy a smoker, but the smoker is not just about smoking. It's also about grilling. And what we have found that as you start smoking things, the skin on the outer pieces of the meat that you're smoking cooking can get kind of tough. So we've moved a lot of our experience to more or less kind of barbecuing it. So now I'm going to go in, excuse me, I'm going to take the temperature on this. So let's go ahead and shut that off. We're going to go into the breast meat, the temperature that we got. Hold on. On. There we go. Now we're in. So we're at 150. And our target is like 165. So we're close. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the thigh. As a matter of fact, why do it the hard way? Just let the rotisserie kind of take me where I need to be. So let's stick it in here to the thigh. See where we are. Still seems a little tough right there. There we go. 148. Wait, oh, no, 159. I'm getting reading a 159. So we're almost at that 165. So I think we've probably got maybe another 10, 15 minutes. I'm not going to take the heat up because the skin looks like it's doing exactly what we want it to do. I'll bring this in so you can see that. I think the skin is doing exactly what we want it to do. So she's operating nicely. The potatoes are getting probably more crispy. So what did I learn about this? What I learned is that you absolutely need to put those on probably in the last hour, but I'm more concerned about the duck breast than I am anything else. So that's looking good. We should be back in 15 minutes and let you see how we're doing. Once again, I'll use a football term, we called an audible. We took it off, didn't like the way the skin was looking. So we put it back on the grill, we took the temperature back up to about 500 degrees just to crisp the skin up. You're gonna see what we see. Here we go. I like it. I think it's crisping up. We got some good grill marks in there. I don't think it's done. I honestly, wow.
You just want it crispier.
I just want it crispier than that, but I think I'm gonna leave it flipped on the breast side down. I think I'm just gonna leave it here for another 5 or 10 minutes. It is a heavy piece of meat. That's what
No, like 5. No, 5.
Kind of struggle. So 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
We'll be better at 5.
So here we are. We set the temperature back up to 500 degrees. We wanted the skin to crisp up. I mean, this is what happens, right? You're out here cooking. We did the rotisserie. The rotisserie is typically a long time. We've dedicated about 3 hours to this, and the temperature got pretty close. But skin wasn't getting crispy because this is such indirect heat. So we took it off the spigot, we put it directly on the grill, took the temperature up to 520 to crisp the skin up. It's only been on the grill for about 3 to 4 minutes. We took it off, we're gonna let it rest. We'll see what we get. Coming back. Hey guys, so we're back. We're at the end. The one thing I'm gonna say to you guys up front is whatever you watch on the internet, add an hour and a half to it. Because it all depends on the grill that you're using and what other people are doing. But we've been doing this now. We actually stepped it up and we're gonna go earlier. And we're sitting at 8:19 and we're still just at the rest period for this thing. So that's what I would tell you. You guys, if you're doing this stuff, be patient, which I started running out of patience. Be patient and just account for 4 hours when you're doing this kind of stuff because that's what it takes, right? Otherwise, the easiest thing for you to do is just run down to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's and get a meal for your family. So what we're gonna do here, the temperature was up. As I said, we took it off, we put the temperature up to 500 degrees just to crisp the skin up, which you see this is nice and crispy. It is still very hot. We let her rest for about 20-25 minutes. I'm gonna cut some of this off because this is the important part of it, right? This is about tasting. So let's do this. I'm gonna cut this one in half. I'm gonna give some to Beth.
Please.
I'm gonna give some to me. Let's go. Let's give this a taste. See how it came out. What do you aimed on?
Oh my god. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. This is a good, I mean, duck is good. This came out really well. We're gonna post this, go ahead and follow us. We're just about doing things that are outside the norm. We're trying to learn so we can cut some of the margin of error out for you guys, but this turned out good. It turned out longer than we thought. It turned out beautiful.
It tastes so good though.
It does. And stay tuned to Cooking with the Frisbees. So, guys, here's what I'll tell you. The end result for me is absolutely beautiful. Do not underestimate the amount of time that it's going to take for you to do this, because it takes a ton of time, right? It's a beautiful piece of meat. I don't know that it's going to be easy for you to get for the holiday time, especially with what's going on with COVID. But I will tell you that it's absolutely delicious. I would do it again in a heartbeat. There are things that we have done that I would not do. This one I would do. And it's beautiful. And it's delicious. And that's the bottom line. So, thank you for looking at Cooking with the Frisbees. If you guys are looking at something different that you want to do, and you want to try a little bit of duck, follow what I did. Didn't see anything on Masterbuilt. I'm going to share this with them so they could see the time that it took. But my thing is it's delicious. Just beware of the time. That's it.